Hi guys, I'm Mr. Green and in this video I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to save money when building a PC. It's easy to overspend on some parts and waste quite a lot of money, so tell me at the end if these tips were useful. Now let's jump straight into the tips. I'll start with the most obvious thing you can do, and that's buy the parts used. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's one of the tips that will save you the most money. If you inspect the parts carefully and ask the seller about what those parts were used for, and even test them with the seller to see with your own eyes that the parts are working, you have nothing to worry about. You can buy everything used, but I don't recommend you get your storage drives used. Also, don't buy off-brand power supplies. You should get a power supply from a reputable PSU manufacturer, such as Corsair and EVGA. Now that we are on the topic of power supplies, my tip number 2 is that you don't get the highest wattage power supply, but the one that can just power all your components. Usually 600 watts is enough, depending mostly on your GPU. You can check how powerful power supply you need in the PC part picker. For tip number 3, I suggest that you use PC part picker when you're planning out your build. PC Part Picker is an amazing website where you can plan out your build, share it with others and gather their opinion on how to improve. It also warns you of any incompatibility among your selected parts, so you don't waste money ordering the wrong parts. It also gathers prices among various retailers, so you can get the best deals for brand new parts. My next tip is that you use the stock CPU cooler. Even if you want to overclock the CPU, nowadays, stock coolers can handle a light overclock just fine, so you don't have to spend any more money on the cooling. The stock cooler might not be the prettiest, but it does its job. For storage, I recommend that you buy one SSD and one hard drive. You can install operating system on the SSD and then use your larger sized hard drive for your files and bigger video games and other programs. By the way, you can start building your game library right now, before you even have your new computer. For example, Epic Games put 1 or 2 games per week for free to claim and keep forever. My next tip is that you buy the parts you can utilize. You need to know what the purpose of your build is. For example, if you'll use it for gaming, you'll be fine with newer i5 or Ryzen 5 and even Ryzen 3 processor. If you're going to do some more CPU intensive tasks such as photo and video editing or coding, then by all means invest in a Ryzen 7 or i7 processor. Same goes for RAM and GPU. Buy as much as you'll need. By all means leave some overhead, but don't buy RTX 3090 just for 1080p 60Hz game because you're limited by your monitor's refresh rate. One of the cheaper alternatives to building a gaming PC is that you buy a used office computer like Dell Optiplex and then upgrade the GPU. But before you do that, make sure that you do your research. You don't want to buy too powerful graphics card and then be bottlenecked by other parts. If you want to learn how to upgrade computer parts, you can watch this playlist. More videos will be added to it in the future. I hope you found this video somewhat useful. If you did, consider tapping the like button. If you want to learn more about how to choose your computer parts, watch this J2Sense video.